Hey everybody, it's Party Elite. Welcome you back to another episode of our Planet Zoo franchise mode Let's Play. We're gonna dive right back into Elite Zoo South and continue our journeys in Australia. Last session was a wonderful trip down memory lane at Elite Zoo North, I think. I saw all your comments and all your feedback with regards to how we should or shouldn't approach that in the future. I appreciate them all greatly, whether they were pro or con going back to Elite Zoo North. Really helps me make decisions on the channel always. On which note, as we do dive into Elite Zoo South, I just want to mention, folks, that if you are interested in seeing this series continue, please do not hesitate to keep letting me know by leaving those likes and comments down below. They make a massive difference in how I approach content on the channel, what I do more or less of, how I go about doing it, and honestly, it's September. We've been playing Planet Zoo since November of last year. Obviously, it can't be November of this year. What are you saying, party? But that's I mean, it really is something to, like, it takes me wrapping my head around that. This series has gone on for a very long time, and the main driving force for that is the fact that we're all kind of in this together. That's why I always say the likes and the comments and all, they make a big difference, because I do read through all the comments as well. I look at the number of likes and comments, and there's just that sense of, I guess, I don't know what the right word is, like camaraderie or collective drive. I don't know the exact words, but maybe y'all are understanding what I'm getting at. But going from November of last year consistently, it's not like we stopped and then picked it up when a new DLC came through and then stopped again. Consistently from November of last year to now September, very close to doing a full year loop over here. It's largely because of all of you. Now, of course, I'm enjoying the game as well. That's a big part of it too. But that's a separate conversation, because ultimately what ends up on the channel versus me just playing on my own is determined by, like I say always, those likes and comments and all that. So I just wanted to express my appreciation there, because honestly, last session's nostalgia mixed with the fact that it is September, for me, it's just like, wow, we've been doing this for a long time, and it's really exciting because there's lots of plans, lots to do still. Planet Zoo still has so much to offer us, and who knows what's next in terms of DLC and stuff as well, right? Anyway, enough of me rambling. There is a lot of work to do, so I don't want to take too much time being all, nostalgic and whatnot. There are a couple of things to tackle in terms of management first, and then we're going to dive on into our time-lapse, hopefully relatively early in this session, but we all know what that means. Timestamps in the description down below should help you navigate if necessary. But we will start the time-lapse relatively soon. What we're actually going to do for today's time-lapse is head on... I like barely recognize... Well, obviously, it's new. I was going to say I barely recognize the zoo from this angle, but that's probably because this is still a new edition. But what we're probably going to do today is revisit our jaguar enclosure over here to a great degree. I think one of the comments called it a potential makeover opportunity. I think we're going to have a bit of a makeover over here. I do like what we ended up with, and I see many of you like what we ended up with as well, so I do apologize if I'm breaking any hearts with this, but there are quite a few issues with the enclosure over here, not just what the animals are taking issue with, of course, in terms of space and in terms of climbing and all that, but also in terms of the architectural style I've kind of gone after. I was really hoping to hit the right notes over here, and I guess I hit some of them, but not all of them, in staying true to my references. And I kind of went chasing after that stereotypical aesthetic that we're so familiar with, which I try to avoid that as much as possible outside of where it makes sense. And it doesn't make sense here because of particularly what I was going for. And I appreciate all the comments that pointed that out. I genuinely do. It's important to check me when when I've got something wrong or whatever, because then we can go back and we can explore it. And that's what I intend to do today with today's time lapse. And I know many of us are excited to see other things happen, completely new animals get added, or finally see our entrance area get done. I promise all that is coming very, very, very soon. We'll be adding a new Australia animal, hopefully, or rather, actually, should we do an Africa animal next session? Y'all let me know in the comments if you'd prefer a new Australia animal or a new Africa animal to kick off our Africa zone next session. But this session will be, some management stuff, and then redoing-ish giving it a makeover, giving the Jaguar enclosure a makeover. Anyway, I said I wasn't going to ramble anymore, and there I went rambling again. My apologies, folks. The first order of business is rather hilarious. I asked y'all for help in naming the Kangaroo enclosure because I was torn between two options. I have never seen a vote come this close. Y'all were supposed to be the decisive, deciding factor, swinging one way or another, making it easy for me to be like, well, this is the clear winner. I kid you not. You can see the results yourself. At the time of this recording, Kangaroo Kuyong, which again means like resting place or meeting place, Kangaroo Kuyong has 420 votes. Royal Roo Palace has 413 votes. That is a 7-vote difference between the two names that I needed help picking between. That really shows, like, when I'm having trouble with names, this is why, because there are always so many great names, and when I have to throw it up for a vote, it's because I'm just torn. That's 50.42% versus 49.58%, the vote split. That's basically 50-50. Like, if this was a democracy, that's not enough of a vote to make a decision happen, I guess. You need 51% for a simple majority, right? And a 66% for a what's the opposite of a simple majority? Oh, a super majority? The word's escaping me right now. Anyway, point being, there is still a winner in that voting process, and so Kangaroo Kuyong, it shall be. I just thought it was hilarious. I was watching that vote throughout the episode, like throughout the days, and I was like, wow, this is neck and neck. This is like not. It was a boxing match between the two names, which is fitting, I suppose, for kangaroos. But Kangaroo Kuyong, it is. Very excited to have a name selected over here. Very exciting process of name selection as well. And I've been told by all of you, or by many of you, I should say, need to keep an eye out for our pregnancies and whatnot, because there are some unique animations to keep an eye out for. So thank you very much for warning me about that. And we do also need a name over here. I might throw up a different poll, actually. Because I've got a couple of requests and quite a few of them appeal to me. I need to think about this. We're not going to get into that right now. I need to think about this. But right now, it's either for me between Jack, like Kangaroo Jack, right? That's the name I'm thinking of, or Red, as a reference to Red 5 from Elite Zoo North, who I was personally very attached to as a super Star Wars fan, I guess. But more name options welcome as well. This is one of the rare opportunities for naming an animal. I saw Joey as a name option as well, which of course makes sense. So this is one of the few opportunities for naming an animal, because I typically avoid that for many reasons that I won't get into right now. On the topic of naming, though, there is a bunch to do on that front. As I say always, folks, I welcome our channel members and patrons to provide their names as animal sponsors or as staff members. In today's session, we're going to be getting the staff names in. And actually, my apologies. So today we're going to be getting the staff names in, and then next session, I either want to do an Africa animal forgetting my grammar there. Either an Africa animal, an Australian animal, or a beauty pass that includes the sponsor labels. And you know what? That's going to be the vote in the pinned comment down below. What do you want to see more next time? Let me know. The voting, I mean, it's a very tight turnaround between episodes. So basically, the first 24 hours of voting is going to be the most effective, because I have to do research and all that if I'm going to be adding another enclosure. And I've already got plans for a beauty pass, doing the wayfinding, getting sponsor names in and stuff like that. So let me know, though. I do like having your input on all of that. But for now, let's go ahead and get some of our staff named. We also do need to hire more staff as well. So hopefully we'll do that today as we are getting staff names in as well. And what I'll probably do to make this easier, so I'm not fumbling with names, is I will probably do a quick cut. And that way you don't have to watch me fumble through spelling mistakes or double checking spellings and things like that. It makes it a lot less awkward. So let's go ahead and welcome some of the new staff, shall we? Literally some new staff, actually, starting off with that. We have 2 new vets that we just had to hire. It was pointed out in the comments of the previous session as well, or maybe the session before that, that we need some more vets. We only had the 2. They were, definitely working too much. We've got the max rank as well, so it was about time we added some new vets. Anyway, I do have quite a few requests for vet names. Fear not if you weren't included in this round, because you're at the top of the list basically for the next round of hiring new vets, which will be very soon actually. As we add more animals, I think it'd be, within the next 4 or 5 episodes, we're going to be adding some more vets in. So my apologies if you weren't included in this round, but it's a relatively popular role to request for. I'm not really worried. I guess I'm not really worried about the financial hit of having too many vets at a time. So maybe I'll just do it before we need it. I'll think about it. I'll think about it. I'll think about it. Maybe I'm being a little too worried about our finances, but at the same time, being worried about finances is what keeps us, in the black, I guess. Anyway, Lucy, Meg, and Michelle Weedman are our new members of staff as our 2 newest vets. I want to mention as well, as I get into this, if I am butchering any names or anything like that, please don't hesitate to let me know. I've many of you send me little pronunciation assistances and whatnot. I try to get those in my head and I try to stick to them as best as possible, but I might still be making mistakes, and I do not mind being corrected. So feel free to let me know, and I hope you understand that if it's a mistake, it's a genuine mistake, and I hate making those mistakes. So please don't be afraid to correct me, I guess, and feel absolutely welcome to. In fact, meanwhile, over here with our vendors, moving on to our next kind of. I'm doing this by type of staff this time, switching things up. We've got 2 new vendors as well. We've got Zane Dickens joining in, and we also have Cold Brew Barbie. And much like the little kind of joke we did with Cold Brew Barbie at Elite Zoo North, we're going to continue in that tradition as per request as well. And I do think it's one of those times where it's just like the name just makes sense. So it's a fun little extra. But let's go ahead and get. Let's get Cold Brew Barbie in charge of the cappuccino because of brew. Yeah? Get it? Yes. Can't resist the pun, right? You can't resist the pun. You can't say no to the pun. All right, so that's those are our vendors taken care of. Moving on up, I believe next up we have security. Yes, we have a brand new security guard in name, not a new hire, but in name we have Hendrix D being added to the crew. And then we also have among our mechanics a brand new name mechanic in Brittany. And we also have some new keepers, quite a few new keepers actually. And keepers are also a very popularly requested role, as you can see over here. But the new ones we have among us are Michelle Shroom. I do apologize if I've butchered that. Do feel free to correct me. I've also got, you can tell when I feel particularly unconfident, because I try to be particular about that stuff. Then we also have Megan M. We've got Llama Lena. We've got Ace. And that wraps up all of our new keepers. Now, if I have missed you, if you've sent in a request and I missed it somehow, maybe YouTube put it into spam, or maybe something else happened, or maybe it happened, maybe you sent the request in as I was recording and so I missed it, please don't hesitate to throw it my way again, and I will endeavor to get your name in ASAP. Like I said, a couple of new vet hires will be happening pretty soon, so maybe I'll add those names that were that had to be left out today because of no room, so to speak. That way, it's done sooner. And then, of course, every month we kind of do this. We make our rounds. Now, like I said before, the naming there, we've got that done today. But in terms of getting the sponsors in for the animals, we will be doing that again either next session or the session after, depending on how you guys vote. Down below in the pinned comment, check out the straw poll and let me know what you'd rather see next session: a beauty pass, which would include those sponsor boards, or a new animal, and if a new animal, then which type of animal. But I think that's enough management stuff for now. I said the time lapse today is going to happen fairly early on, and I think we still qualify as fairly early on, to be fair. I think so. All of these guests over here are about to witness some magic. This entire space is going to change in a snap. Hopefully, hopefully for the better. It's nice to see actually crowds forming up over here. I mean, I was already pleased with it, a couple sessions ago when we were last here, but it is nice to see them coming through. It is nice to see some of the money get put down as well in the donation bins, and it is also nice to see folks were interacting with the education boards that we've picked to be appropriate for the animal in question. Anyway, folks, I gotta move these trees out of the way first so I can get a clear view. Prepare yourselves for a massive makeover of this enclosure. One that I'm really excited for, because hopefully, if I pull it off right, it'll look unlike anything we've done before at E22 South, or at least hopefully. And our technically interesting elements will be improved upon as well, allowing the jaguars to sort of play in both sides. On both sides? In both sides. In, because you're in an enclosure. They'll be able to traverse more easily. There. Let's put it that way. All that said, folks, it's time-lapse time. All right, folks, I hope you're ready for this one, because it is quite the overhaul. I mean, it is literally a full overhaul. We get rid of everything. Well, okay, that's too much. We get rid of everything that's made of stone over here. All the architectural work is just completely tossed up, literally, and we built it from scratch. And you know what? I'm quite glad that we did that. It's a daunting kind of thought and experience to go into a session knowing that you're about to get rid of all the work you did last time. But as attached as I am, or I guess was, to this, and as some of you expressed your attachment as well in the comments, I feel like the new end result is more in keeping with what we were going for, or what I was going for here originally. So the first order of business was to get rid of our South America circular temple build, and I don't actually get rid of it properly. It stays up top, which is what I mean. We toss it up, not away. I need to remember to get rid of it. I think it stays up there at least. I need to remember to get rid of it at the top of the next session or something, because otherwise it's just these floating rocks up in the air. And there's a couple of remnant pieces here and there, no big deal. We just move them out of the way. I kept it up there in case for some reason I wanted to bring it back. We end up not bringing it back, so we can happily set all that aside. So there's a lot going on over here. The first thing I do is check in on the water levels, and if I can actually get rid of this water and build a river into our jaguar enclosure over here, because, I mean, to be fair, of all the places for a river to run through, it's kind of silly. As some of you pointed out, it kind of doesn't make sense for Brazil, or like the Brazil-inspired space, to not have a river running through it. Just a little silly. Just a little silly. So I went in and I carved a river in, and it'll allow the jaguars to actually swim right next to the viewing area as well, so it'll be a nice kind of viewing opportunity. I tried to make this area look a little bit like the mouth of a river. That we get rid of some of the grass there, because that's just overdoing it. But just to have like the way the river kind of splits at the end there, just trying something a little different, I suppose. And this will be the end of the river too, so, or at least I think so. This will be where the river comes to an end. So yeah, that'll take care of the jaguars' swimming needs, so we're covered there. The next thing to concern myself with is the jumping off point over here, and not just the jumping off point, but the entire middle section over here, making it a bit more safe, like visually very clearly safe, making it a bit more accessible to the jaguars as well, so they can actually climb over the roof, over the center if they so choose, and making it also a bit more on point with regards to the cultural references that we're making. So my hope here is that the jaguars will be able to climb on top of the roof, guests will be able to walk underneath the jaguars and even look at them. We're going to add some glass panels in the middle, so it's kind of like alternating glass versus the thatched roof. And the thatching itself is a lot more fitting and appropriate of again the culture that we're trying to reference over here. The Guarani people's houses are typically, and structures in general, I should say, are typically worked with wood and like thatching and things like that. And I really kind of, I'll be honest with myself, I'll be honest with all you, I kind of lost sight of that over the course of the previous build. It was all stonework, and I think I had it in my head, and I think I mentioned this before the time lapse too. I had it in my head that was actually, I don't know what I had in my head. It was like, this is what temples look like, I guess, and it's that stereotypical kind of approach, right? Which I was trying to avoid in the first place, which is why I was so okay with just completely, junking the whole thing and starting from scratch and trying to be a bit more true to the references. And that was great to see the reaction. I just want to say in the comments as well, it really does make me happy to see when people are happy to see, their own thing or something they're familiar with, however you want to put it, represented, or even just happy to see other things get represented. I'm one of those people myself where it's like when I see things, even if I don't have a personal connection to them, I think it's cool. I personally go, oh wow, it's really neat that X is getting some, time to shine, that kind of a thing. So it was really nice to see those reactions and those responses. And then there were some responses as well that pointed out some of my errors in how I went about it. And I appreciate those as well, like I mentioned earlier, because it does help me, kind of check myself. So I went around, I did a bunch more research and found some more good examples. Again, some of the comments came through with a lot of references and things like that as well for me to look at. And so just looking at all that for a multitude of reasons, primarily, of course, being like, okay, how do I put the wood down? What kind of colors should I be looking at? What kind of structures should I be looking at and trying to build? One thing that I do is I have to balance the actual constructs, like the real world example that we're referencing, with game's limitations. As we learned with the capuchin enclosure, having too many climbing opportunities can cause some troubles. So I just do have to keep that in mind as well, because all the pieces that we'll be using for this enclosure are climbable, so we have to be wary of that. I also, what you just saw was me building sort of ramp structures rather than having stairs for our keepers, because again, the keepers need to be able to reach both sides of the enclosure as well. But rather than having stairs for the keeper, we're now building sort of earthen ramps, if you will, and that way they're able to get up on either side and get down on either side, and it shouldn't be a problem for them to take care of the animal and clean this space. That's why I had to have stairs on both sides, basically. Now, with all that said and done, you can see I kind of toy around with the idea of covering the central space up as well. I ultimately decide against it, but then, me being me, later on I decide for it, and we actually come back in and work on that in a slightly different way. No big deal, but it's just something that we do end up doing, so don't worry about it just quite yet. Over here, I make a bit of a silly mistake, but we'll touch more on that mistake later. I decide to cover this space up. Again, previously we had the stone facade to block off, the animal from escaping over here, but here I decided to put down wood instead. Again, going with that wood, earthy tones, thatching. It's weird to call it more natural. I mean, stone is natural too, but just avoiding masonry if possible. Still keeping it on the other side of the enclosure because it ties into our, Pachamama's garden and the Capuchin dig site, if you will. But yeah, just trying to find a nice way to blend this. And I do really like how the rock texture blends so nicely into the actual rock meshes. Just really good stuff. Really good stuff. And now trying to figure out how to block off the top here. Because if the jaguars... Oh, you know what? I didn't check. Or I didn't at least make note of if the jaguars are able to get up on top of the roof. So we need to check that. But if the jaguars do end up on top of the roof, I want to make sure they're not able to jump off said roof into the rest of the zoo. That would be a problem. So I'm just building a bit of fencing over here. We do a little bit of tweaking to it, and ultimately I actually end up using the letter I from the alphabet to seal off the center here. You can see I pull out the, lowercase, so to speak. I just, block this area off. It looks right. The piece does the trick. The color is close enough to the other wooden pieces. I did what was necessary there. And now just, again, trying to figure out how to add a bit more green to the space as well and try to make it feel a bit more, jungle-esque, I suppose. I'll be honest, I'm struggling a little bit with that. I am trying my best to use a variety of plants and get the look going right. I end up pretty happy with the end results, but it definitely took me some time to get there. And I do also add a different variety of tree as well. It was suggested to me that, I'm going to butcher the pronunciation, the yellow ipe tree? I'm not sure. Correct me in the comments. But yeah, I add a bit of that as well. It adds a spot of color and vibrance to the area, so very happy with that too. We do that later on, though, not right now. We do manage to do that later on in this time lapse. Just some minor adjustments over here, nothing too big of a deal to worry about. Just wanted things to line up a bit more nicely. And then, it's so nice to have the money to be able to just delete something and replace it rather than have to edit each and every one individually. Now looking around, I was trying to figure out how to get that, how to get the again, the cultural references through some of these climbing platforms and stuff as well. Now I was looking at Gorani villages and housing structures and things like that, and I thought, well, in some of the articles that I found, I thought I saw clay or mud structures as well, but the vast majority I saw was wood and thatching, so you saw the hesitation there for a moment. And doing a trick similar to what we did at Yanasi Plains, using the upside down reeds to act as you know, sort of a bit of a thatching with more kind of color and stuff to it. And here is where you can see I start to get a little maybe over the top, where I add a lot of pieces over here, but it looks pretty good. It might be a bit of a problem for calculating climbing and things like that. We'll have to keep an eye out for it. And I also do make some adjustments to it. Right now, I was kind of going a little messy, as I tend to do. I go like, oh yeah, let's go, you know, rough around the edges, because it's, you know, made with, you know, older tools, etc., so it's prone to mistakes and that kind of thing. But again, in doing research, I was like, you know, some of this construction is pretty precise. It's a mixed bag. There are some constructs that are pretty precise, and some that are a bit more, you know, kind of I mean, I don't know the right word, but, you know, they feel like they are made by hand as opposed to machine milled and stuff like that, right? So I try to find the balance for that over here as well. And apart from just that one structure on that side where the animal is able to hide, I also decide to build this side up, and I will build a structure over here as well. Not the one you're seeing right now. I do a little bit of work, and then I decide promptly that this isn't working well, and then I replace it with something which also isn't the final structure, because I end up going with something a little bit better. I mean, basically what ends up happening is I look around the enclosure in, I think, just a moment's time, and I go, you know what? I'm pretty happy with this. Oh yeah, a couple small adjustments, but let me tell you the big picture thinking, the big picture thought that happens here is I look around the enclosure and I go, I'm pretty happy with, like, the fact that we've transitioned everything to wood, no more, you know, masonry or anything like that. Looking pretty good, feeling pretty good, using the right materials, but there was something missing. There was something missing, and I didn't know what it was, and then I realized it was the shapes. And again, through the comments, I found a lot of really great references and stuff. And there's this, there was a very prevalent shape, I suppose, that came up more often than not, when it came to the roofs and just the structures in general, at least in the images I found. And it was like this kind of curved dome shape. And I was like, okay, well, let's see if we can't get that in there, because then that becomes a bit more of a direct one-to-one kind of connection here. Let's see if we can't get that in here. And then I realized that the thatched roof pieces, the reeds pieces, none of that stuff would really lend itself to that curve that I would look to create. So instead, what I end up doing here is I build the structure that lies underneath that curved thatched roofing. This I would say is the most common visual I saw when I was looking around for examples. This kind of crisscross of wood that then would have thatching put over top of it. So I'm happy that I was able to execute that in some way. And because it's the thinner climbing pieces, I feel like the jaguars are not going to be able to climb it. Over here as well, getting those reeds in, just one layer. And it's pretty flat, but the wood understructure there makes it feel like there is some shape under it, I feel at least. And then adding a little bit of that over here as well, just to add a little bit of variety and a little bit of verticality as well. Like some of these structures are really big. I mean here as well, but I mean like some of the references I was looking at, they're pretty big. So I was very comfortable making these, you know, pretty large as well. But yeah, that's all the construction, I believe. Adding a few more trees here and there. The jaguars should be able to climb these trees. They are climbable, so that'll be nice. I mean, if we can get one lazing over the water, I would be very pleased. And then it's just a matter of making a couple of minor adjustments here and there to the ramping, adjusting the donation bins as well. Want to make sure we have a representation of both of our first animals in here. And now to put down the name. And I'm probably going to butcher this pronunciation, even though I was given a very solid pronunciation guide. But the name of this enclosure is going to be Oka da Onça. Da Onça? Oka da Onça? I apologize. Do correct me. I do want to get it right. But Oka the Unsa. So Oka is the name of the house of the Guarani people, and I don't know if it goes beyond that, but based on my research, Oka is the name of the house of the Guarani people. There's really no other way to say that. I don't know why I was trying to find another way to say that. And Onça is jaguar in Portuguese. So, kind of blending all that together and building a nice name and referencing, tying it all together. Again, a great suggestion from the comments. Instant win for me, and many of you were very much supportive of it as well. So it was an easy decision, I would say, this time around, unlike our kangaroo enclosure. But there you have it, folks. That is the time lapse. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you like it. Let me know in the comments, as always. All right, folks, we are back from the time lapse, and I gotta say, I am pretty pleased. I was very worried, if I'm going to be completely transparent. I was very worried going in with regards to how this might end up looking or feeling or being, I guess. But I'm pretty happy with how we've kind of turned things around. It is completely different from what it was before. Clearly, all the stone is gone. It's been replaced by more, I suppose, culture appropriate or geography or anthropology appropriate, just more appropriate construction material, and not just construction material, but I think also shapes and construction processes, I suppose, as well. I tried to find the perfect balance between what's an accurate representation and what I suppose would be a not a burden for the game to calculate, climbing pieces and things like that. Now, in hindsight, I just realized now that I zoom around, I wonder if I want to add some more vines and things like that, make things a bit more, busy that way. Like it always adds a bit of dimension when we add vines and things like that, going from trees to buildings and whatnot. I was doing that a little bit, as you can see already, but I wonder if we should add actually a fair bit of it. As is always the case, once the time lapse is done, I get some time to start talking about things, and that's when I start to realize some other options and opportunities. Tradition around these parts, I suppose. That doesn't look very realistic at all. There we go. That's a bit more reasonable. But anyway, that's something to think about for sure, just to make this space feel a bit more busy. I was also wondering about, like, up over here, we still have our little walkway. I suppose we can call it that. I wonder if up over here we want to just do like almost like curtains of vines or something like that, just to block off. Not to block off the view per se, but just to add some more stuff up over here, because it is pretty plain up top. So I wonder if we shouldn't make it a bit more busy, get some more stuff up over here. I didn't necessarily want to just put down a bunch of like bushes or anything like that. That felt like a little. I mean, that it's certainly an option, but I didn't feel like that was the right option, I guess. I wanted to do something a bit more. I wanted to do something. I just didn't know what yet, which is why I haven't really executed anything over here. I'm really fumbling over my words, and I apologize for that. But it's been a wild weekend and week and month as a whole, August. So it's probably just a little bit of my fatigue shining through. It's been it's been interesting, fun, but and interesting in a positive way. But also, I apologize if that's kind of showing through in some of its typically negative aspects as well. So yeah, I just feel like there's more to be done up over here. But I was starting to feel kind of like the fatigue of a long time lapse as well. That was about an hour and 40 minutes of time lapsing approximately, I think, if I've got my timestamps correct. So it was a whole song and dance, and I'm very happy with how it looks in the end. I'm very happy with our again, personally, I enjoy this kind of dedication to trying to replicate some the right human influence where it makes sense. I did receive a comment, though, I think last session, or maybe it was the session before, that it would be nice to have some enclosures that were more devoid of human contact entirely and purely natural. And I think when we went back to E22 North as well, that was further punctuated by some of the enclosures over there. The timber wolf and the grizzly bear, like Wolf Rock and Grizzly Grove, were prime examples of entirely natural enclosures. I almost said entirely natural constructs, which is, that's not right. So that's definitely something that stood out to me as well, that maybe we should do a little bit more of that. Maybe find the opportunity to do that with Australia or even Africa, where it's just like the entire enclosure is a bit more natural, as opposed to trying to make the human touch element of it be so prevalent. Anyway, we're about to hit play, but there are a couple of things to concern ourselves with. Power source requires repair. I don't recall when that happened. Oh, you know what? That actually happened at the end of our previous session at E22 South. So not the last one, but the one before that. So let's go ahead and get the mechanics coming over here. Mechanic research complete as well. Those are the Australia pieces, which I'm very excited to check out. We don't have to keep researching, actually, so I think I'd actually rather get you to stop doing the research now. Brittany, thank you very much. Because the last couple steps are all blueprints, and I don't use blueprints, so there's no point wasting the time of a mechanic that could be doing other more important things. And we will need more mechanics soon as well, actually. So that is something I have to keep an eye out for as well. Multiple staff members can't find. So this is a serious problem that many of you have pointed out in the comments. Apparently, with this new update comes this new bug, which I thought was just an Elite Zoo North thing last session, but apparently it's a fairly common bug where people are having a hard time getting to places, and that might be a bit of a concern if it is a serious sort of consistent problem, because I cannot afford that kind of lapse in functionality of the zoo, I suppose. Let's put it that way. So hopefully that's not going to be a problem. Also suffering from some stress and low welfare over here, which is unfortunate. I suspect it's because there's a big crowd over here right now. Hopefully they're all able to get to some of their, one of their hidey holes. They can hide back there behind the bushes, I'm pretty sure. They should be able to hide into the corner over there as well. There are some hiding spots, so I hope they're able to reach them and feel comfortable. But I definitely want to keep my eye out on the stress level around these parts and the welfare just in general around these parts, because I think that's like the second time or so that's come up. Also, hold on. Oh yeah, okay. These are some really good. Black coat. I didn't even know that was just the lighting, but it should be a fair bit darker than the dark brown coat, I imagine. It looks pretty much, yeah, like pitch black almost. So I'm interested to see that fully grown, but yeah, we'll keep an eye out for the stress levels and stuff as well. I believe that's everything here sorted, and everything here sorted as well. We have a couple of challenges ongoing right now. Not community challenges, but like challenges as in, a way to make a quick buck, I suppose. How do I get Yellow Anaconda education rating to 11%? That's not going to be an easy task at all whatsoever. Anyway, I do believe we're good to hit play. Was there something I wanted to concern myself with first? I definitely want to look at Jaguar stuff. We're going to make some progress actually with the Africa section today as well during this kind of management segment. I don't know how much progress we'll make given, the notifications we already have stacked, but we'll try and make some progress. Go ahead and hit play, and actually I want to touch on something as well, as it is the 18th of December in-game. It was pointed out in the comments of the previous episode that there's not been any snow, and I suppose in grassland biomes in the game, snow is not a common occurrence. So I suppose that's why we haven't seen any snow around these parts. Well, we have confirmation that they can definitely get from point A to point B, so that's good to see. What do they think about their space? Tremendous. Absolutely wonderful. They are more than happy with the space they have right now. Everything is covered. Water, earth, climb, together, Captain Planet, etc., etc. I'll get the reference, hopefully. This is good, though. That's great. I'm very happy with that. Hopefully, the guests continue to have good views. We've also made it accessible up over here for a staff member. And hopefully these, earthen ramps, if we can call them that, will be good enough for our staff members to come through as well. The reason why we had stairs on both sides last session, by the way, is because of because keepers need to be able to access all places for cleaning as well. And by the way, over here, I have not kept this fully closed, but at least when it rains, people are able to tuck in over here or up over here, and yeah, still get some decent views of the animals. I mean, maybe I should, you know what, actually, hold on, maybe I should cover this central area up. Seeing the rain fall down like this is just like, okay, this is pretty bad. Oh yeah, look at that. They're so cool. They're just so well animated and everything. But yeah, seeing the rain pour like this definitely makes me feel like I should get a little bit of roofing in the middle over here. If we can get like a nice big circular piece. Bigger than that, please. I do like that we have the size indicator over here. I wish when I first saw that I was like, oh man, are we finally able to scale things? And the answer is no, we're not. Does it have to be this one? Why don't we have an equivalent size variant for this kind of more greenish one? Damn. Would really like that. Okay, not the end of the world. We don't even have curved pieces up here, do we? Oh, we do. We do, but not the kind that you can make a larger circle with. Unfortunately, no. I mean, I guess we could make... Oh, you know, that's not too bad, though. It's not perfect. Okay, let's try this. Let's try this. Dangerous animal has escaped. That is an escaped jaguar. Everybody just started to run. How did you escape? Where'd you get out? How did you escape? Oh, I know what happened. I hate that they can clip through climbing stuff. Go ahead and emergency capture. I know we could just call a vet instead, but I like doing the emergency capture when it's a dangerous animal because, well, actually, I guess I should call the vet instead. Well, this is a bit of a bummer, I'll be honest. I like the exposed wood thing, but it's okay. It's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. We have to do what's right by the zoo, obviously. We'll just make this kind of like a exposed, or like a hole in the stone wall, if you will. Go up there. Come on now. Go. There we go. Nice and easy. Nothing too complicated. Gotta block off the climbing. It's those little things that I just keep forgetting, like because it shouldn't be. You know, the clipping is just unfortunate. It is unfortunate. That's the word I would use for it, because an animal should not be able to magic its way through through anything, really. And I understand, obviously, it is a challenging thing, and you cannot prepare for every use case scenario. Like, credit to the devs. Let's be real here. You cannot prepare for every use case scenario while giving players this much freedom to build their own thing. So, you know, I'm taking nothing away from them. But it is still a bummer, I guess. But it's a perfectly fair one to have exist. All right, cool. That should solve that problem. What was I just doing? Right, the little roof over here. So much for the Africa section. Now, there's going to be a couple of refunds, unfortunately, but it's okay. We've captured the animal already. I don't know why people are still escaping. What's going on? We're good, folks. We're good. Oh my god, what's going on over here? Gotta get some mechanics in here. Pronto, come on. Alright, looks like we're okay. Gonna be a couple of refunds. That's not ideal, but we'll be fine. We'll be fine. At least now we get to see how guests arrive at a completely fresh enclosure. Look at this couple over here, just like completely unaware of what just went down. It was like, what? Where did everybody go? Why is everybody gone? What's happening here? You stay oblivious. You stay oblivious. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. All right, let's see if we can't. No, let's see. You're not climbable, are you? You're not. Okay, good. Let's see if we can't build. I guess it wouldn't be a circle, which is. I would like it to be. Well, it's not gonna be a circle anyway. But it's not even gonna be square, like square as in like squared off. I mean. I guess that's not the end of the world. I guess it's more important to cover guests up. Guests and their needs. What if I do that? Need a little bit of finessing. That kind of a thing. I don't know how I feel about this, I'll be honest. I don't know how I feel about this. Not the corner piece. These pieces. Go over here as well. I do think it's necessary to have a covering over here now that I've seen the rain, but I just don't know exactly how I want to go about doing it, I guess. And we just sneak it up a bit. There we go. That's what I want. That kind of a thing. There we go. Appropriate, I would say. And let's go ahead and just raise these up a little bit. Use those as supports. Now obviously have to duplicate. Not the end of the world. Just do. Perfect. Perfect is a strong word. Perfect is a very strong word. Go ahead and duplicate them separately, I guess. Yeah, because it was not very clean. I was not very pleased with how off the mark that was. This is cool, though. This is good. This is working nicely. Weird that it didn't line up previously, but it is what it is, whatever. No big deal. There we go. One more piece here. And is that all of them? I think that's all of them. Good stuff. Guests are coming through. What I could also do, actually, y'all keep pointing it out, and I keep forgetting, and now I finally remembered. So thank you for continuously pointing it out. But there are now vending machines that we can put down. Excellent. Yeah, we can put down food vending machines as well. Reminds me of my time in Japan. Hot food vending machines they were a thing. They were absolutely a thing. But yeah, we can put down vending machines now instead of vendors everywhere, which is not too bad at all. Be a good way to get guests, you know, fed and energized and everything on their way from one place to another. I do wonder where I want to... Like, I don't want to just, like, slap it down somewhere, you know? Like, I don't want to, like, just be like, yeah, here, have a pizza. Though the coloration over here matches very nicely for where you are. I don't want to, like, just slap these down. I want to think about where we place them. Oh, hey, cool. So guests are actually able to use these. Okay, this is perfect, because this allows me to make the adjustment here while guests are actually sitting on it. You know what? I don't think that's going to work. No, don't get up. It'll need to be something like this. I don't know if this works. We have to do that, and then like that kind of a thing. Bugatti maybe? Almost definitely. I'm curious what y'all think, but I was hoping it would be a bit more realistic. I mean, then again, I don't have to... Maybe I'm worrying too much about what it looks like when you're super zoomed in. Let's see. Let's give the guests another chance to sit down and we can see what they're, you know, what it looks like. But yeah, money's looking good again. I mean, apart from that set of refunds that just happened, no big deal. We're okay. We're okay. Animals are hopefully having a good time as well. They're able to sleep over there. They're able to run around. They've got access to water. Where are you? There you are. Well, confirmation that the keepers can get up over here, so that's good as well. And I do just want to check that they are able to, yes, get into the water. Excellent. Now, hang on a second. That reminds me. They don't dive. Yeah, so this should be fine in keeping them back. Yeah, they don't dive into the water, so we shouldn't need any, like, blockage or anything like that, which is good. Go ahead and enjoy the sights here a little bit. Didn't really get to appreciate the animals all that much last session. Whoa, whoa, into the camera you go. All right, fair enough. What are you eyeing? I'd love to see them jump around. I'd love to see a little bit of climbing action. Oh. Are we about to? No, we're not. We're not seeing any climbing action. Man, it's like the game can hear me, and it knows I'm watching, and it knows I'm getting excited for something, and it's like, no, here, have some poops instead. Wonderful, wonderful. You couldn't write that. Are you also... Don't tell me. I just want to see the animals doing animal... I mean, I guess they are doing animal things. Ooh. Yes! We arrived just in time to catch that little peek. Alright, listen. The rest of this episode is basically us following Noah Lingu around. I had a gut feeling that we might have missed a pregnancy. Oh, wow! The belly is actually like... Look at that. Maybe it's a placebo effect, but that's... Yeah, it's the model has changed, has it not? Or something? Oh, so cute. Like it looks fuller, I think. Okay, well, all eyes on the kangaroos here, waiting for our moment of joy. Huh? Oh, you're not impressed. Look at those eyes. Wow, what an absolute proper beast. Do you see how, like, what a dominant figure that was off to the side? It was just my peripheral vision, so maybe I'm overseeing it, but, like, overanalyzing it, but that was wild. Oh, no, don't lie back down. I want to see the baby. More vet research complete. Excellent. I can't wait to get the kangaroos, like, better food and stuff. In fact, I might already be able to up their food quality. Yeah, let's go ahead and do it. I'm so glad I checked my notifications. Come on now. Stand up. Stop lying down. Taking cover from the rain? You're not even hidden from the rain here. Just the one pregnant kangaroo for now. I don't mean to just watch animals for like, 10 minutes, but I've been specifically requested and told that this is worth doing. And so I don't want to miss, any of the new animations or anything that comes out. If the devs have put so much effort into something, I want to make sure we see it and enjoy it and capture it. Yeah, that's definitely... The model has definitely changed a bit to reflect the pregnancy. What? Why? Stand up. Do something. Do a thing. I can't believe we only just caught a glimpse of that animation. That's the thing. They're so short-lived, those animations. Like, you really have to catch them. I don't want to miss it. Folks are coming around. This is good. This is good. I wonder how many donations we're getting for the kangaroos. I want to click on these donation bins here. Okay. What are you doing in there, jumping like that? Take a look at, yeah, a little bit of money. And again, it's really widespread is the thing. I love how the water pools up on these. Yeah, they're really widespread, so it's... You can expect it to be lots of small donation bin numbers. Hopefully adding up. But it's nice to see guests in the top ring as well. I'm going to be adding things to the top ring to make it more attractive. Oh, so cute. For guests, but that's for later. That's as we continue to expand up there. I'm gonna turn the light on, so you know, avert your eyes, I suppose. We're good. Want to make sure we see this. We have a... Andes has passed away as well. He's not staying alive. Okay, he's also not dead. Watch, I'm missing my kangaroo animations right now. Oh, down you go. Go ahead and get a vet in. Looking like it's nap time. There we go. Back to you. Running around. You guys gonna play? Do you guys play together? Or are you just gonna have a... Ooh, are you also? This is an excellent opportunity to check. No, okay. I guess I was wrong about the model being different. Come on now. Oh, no. It's such a nice animation. It's such a cute, like, hop. I love kangaroos. I love kangaroos. They're just, I don't know. They're like overgrown, adorable mice that hop. Oh, don't like back down. Come on. What do we got going on over here? Enoch is stress. We got lots of stress going on. This is even in here, eh? I wonder if I should put some more coverage down over here. This place is getting really crowded, though. I guess people on their way to the new Jaguars are like, oh yeah, let's check this other thing out. Check this other thing out. And don't tell me that was the only glimpse of that animation we're going to get. Just like relaxing over here. Yeah, okay, we need to do something about it. I'm not sure what's changed. Everything was fine with the anteaters and Baird's tapirs, but something's changed. We'll tackle that. I think we'll tackle that next session, though. Because, again, like, I know what's going to happen. We're going to try tackling it today, and the next thing you know, Kangaroo is born, and then we have to wait another God knows how long before we can, you know, see some of the exciting new animations and stuff again. Can't find accessible... No, okay, that's gone. It's weird, those notifications coming and going like that. I do hope they fix some of that stuff up. I don't know, it's weird. Like, I'm not sure what gets experimented with that, like, breaks things, quote-unquote, breaks things as time moves on. Always very curious about that. Now, money is actually not looking very hot right now, which I don't like. What's going on? The refunds was just $1,000. That shouldn't be that much. It's September. And we're looking at a deficit here, which is uncomfortable, to say the least. I really hope that's not a new, that's not the new normal right now. We'll be fine. I think what's probably happened is the escape didn't just affect our refunds, obviously. It also affected the fact that a lot of guests weren't in a place where they could spend money anymore. Guests are happy. Education has dropped a little bit, but I think that's because the zoo has gotten bigger without being supplemented by enough education boards and stuff, so we'll take a look at that as well. And, yeah, okay, that's good. Money's... There we go. That's feeling better. That's feeling better. I'm gonna look at the comparison between... Oh, you know what? The other thing is, of course... No, actually, it's not. Didn't spend that much in construction. Interesting. Well, we're always going to have our exhibit animals to trade, I suppose. In fact, can we... We can, can't we? Exhibits. No, I guess we have to do it this way. so. You're gonna stand up now while I'm in the middle of something, of course. That was actually a good way to do it. Keep an eye on... Of course you get active when I'm actually trying to get some work done. It's like they know. It's like they know. I don't want to miss that animation if it happens again. I'm trying to like still get work done while... Look at that size difference. Oh my god. Also, look at those scars. Battle scars. Scratch animation's amazing. Oh, that's perfect. The face and everything is so perfect. Come on. Come on. Come on. Poke your head out. That's cute. That's synchronized couple hops. No, don't lie back down. I'm trying to draw you like one of my French girls. Come on. Oh, man. Alright, it's fine. It's not the end of the world. Let's go ahead and deal with this real quick, and hopefully by the time we're done here, we'll have some progress. Lots of Titan beetles. Trying to keep an eye out. Gotta keep a female and a male. Kind of pick one at random over here. Oh my god. This is definitely the more time-consuming way to do it than to go from enclosure to enclosure. Or rather, exhibit to exhibit. There are so many beetles. Oh my god. Keeping a male and a female. They are not young, but they're not old either, I would say. Fine, you know, let's go ahead and do that, and let's keep you and you. How about that? Cool. Send everybody else to the trade center. What? Oh, okay. But everybody else can, so as long as everybody else was put to the trade center. Exhibit animal storage. Yeah, okay, good. We didn't have 38 beetles. We had 38 beetles. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. Quick trade. For a quick buck. Done. Back up at 90k. Take a look at some of the other exhibit animals too. Oh, about to mate. Little hug. Little kiss. Little peck on the lips. Where babies come from. Alright, now we got 2 kangaroos who are expecting babies. And from whom we can expect these adorable baby kangaroo animations. That just means we're twice as likely to miss it when it happens. That's cute. Oh, that's so nice. I do like just watching the animals from time to time. Just to see how they behave. Alright. I got my eye on you. Don't you do anything silly now. Like run away while I'm watching you from this little angle. The worst thing is that watch the animation happen while I'm focused over here and I just completely miss it. Put the light on for now. Bunch of roaches we gotta get rid of too. Try not to get rid of our old tier ones. And now you're gonna start lying down a lot as well. Fair enough. Fair enough, I guess I can't blame you. We got female and male. Yep, good stuff. Send the rest of the trade center. I want to make sure they're not like upset or anything as well, right? Okay, well, if you're lying down, where's our other one? There we are. You're up and running. Literally. Come on. It's almost baby time, so I'm worried we're going to miss it. Oh, now you're up in the distance too. This is, honestly, I'm just like, I'm chasing kangaroos here. I'm literally chasing kangaroos. I'm just hurting. It's the equivalent of hurting cats. It's hurting kangaroos. Come on, one of you is gonna get into the animation, and I'm gonna notice it. I'm gonna watch it. Get further away from each other. That makes this harder. Oh my god. Just hopping around, knowing I'm over here. Okay, we're like making 0 progress, and I do apologize for that, but I think we all agree that we don't want to miss this animation. Running in circles. I didn't mean literally running in circles, but alright. You know what? I think our luck has run out this this session. We used it all up as we panned over to them. Oh, that's the cleaning animation. Which, I mean, I also... Oh, there it is! Yes! Yes! Oh, no! I should have paused sooner. What a cutie. Just stuck his head, stuck a little head out. Oh my god, that was so cute. So it's a separate animation, I guess. It's a separate animation that can stack on top of any other animation. And then there's another unique one, which is them actually interacting. You are our male. I was like, you don't look like you have a pouch. That's because you don't. That's because you don't. What was that notification? That one looked important. Offspring, offspring. Protesters. What are you protesting? Oh, Watchel. Stress, I assume? Oh, now Watchel's happy. We're protesting for no good reason. Oh my god, these crowds, though. Serious crowding going on. Alright, I'm back. Where are you? You a male? Yes, I had a feeling. Starting to get better at identifying them. And not just by, you know, not seeing a pouch. Come on. Come on. Come on. Stick your head out. Come on. Like, egg it on. Nope. Yeah, okay. I think that's as lucky as we're gonna get today. I mean, I'm glad we caught it. I'm glad it happened. This is also very cute. Honestly, I can't get over this animation. Also, this is like this. It's like tells a story over here. Anyway, folks, I think that's what we're gonna call it a session. I mean, we made some progress, and then I got horribly distracted by the kangaroos. I really want to see that that animation where it looked like the mum and the Joey shared a kiss. That was way too cute to miss. Oh yeah, look at that. Money's coming through over here with the jaguars. It's so funny. We added the jaguars, but we're looking at the kangaroos. Okay, good stuff. We can see that they're able to reach this area. You look like you're about to pounce, buddy. Good stuff. Hungry for that food, I guess. That so cool. So cool looking. Jet black. Those eyes. Grass getting in my way. Those teeth. Oh my god. What a beast. Look at the details on the nose, actually. Like, that's actually pretty amazing. Anyway, folks, this is where we're going to call it a session. I hope you enjoyed this one. I certainly did. I certainly enjoyed completely revamping the enclosure over here. I think it was absolutely worth it to get us something a bit more accurate to the area, to the region, and to the people we're trying to represent over here, you know, alongside its name and everything. Oh, that actually reminds me. I guess one thing we do have to do before we do call it a session proper is get that name made official. I actually have to copy it because I cannot get the accent on my keyboard. Gotta copy it, paste it. There you have it. Done. Beautiful. Folks, I hope you enjoyed this session. If you did, you know what to do. Let me know by leaving a like and a comment down below. As always, it makes a massive difference in how I approach content on the channel, what I do more or less of, and how I go about doing it. It is a beautiful, bright, sunny February day, the 47th year of our zoo. We're about to have some baby kangaroos, and based on your voting in the pinned comments straw poll down below, next session will either be a beauty pass or the addition of a new animal, depending on how we're feeling, and also how I'm feeling. Obviously, as I always say, votes help me make a decision. They don't make the decision, because a lot of the times things come up and I can't stick by them, but they definitely help me make a decision based on what people are interested in watching. Anyway, folks, as always, a massive thanks goes out to all of my channel members and patrons for supporting this channel on a monthly basis. Y'all keep us alive and running smoothly, and this list continues to grow, and it's just it's insane. I just want to say thank you all. Absolutely appreciate it. And of course, a big old thanks goes out to each and every one of you for watching as well. We wouldn't have, you know, gone from November last year until September of this year without each and every one of you. Now, until next time, Cheers.